if you are at all stressed about your future, stop what you're doing. I have a message for you, because even when you trust God, even when you truly trust Him in your heart, it's still a struggle with anxiety and with worrying about the future. I get it. I did this the other day, okay? God was starting to share with me some of the things that He had planned for the next few months. And I instantly start panicking. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, that means that I need this. And if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to need this. And I'm going to need that and that and that. And I just don't see how I'm going to do that, God. That just seems like a lot. And I just don't know how that's going to happen. And He was like, you don't think I've already thought about this? You don't think that I know what you're going to need? And then He gave me this image in my mind. And it was like a child going to sleep at night, and then the parent was laying out their clothes for the next day. And the parent would lay out their clothes according to what the weather was going to be. So if it was going to be hot, they would lay out shorts and a t-shirt. If it was going to be cold, they would lay out a jacket and a hat. And it was like the parent knew what was coming, and so they knew how to prepare their child. All the child had to do was wake up. All you got to do is wake up and get dressed. The end. And I think this comes from us not being able to wrap our brains around the fact that God is present in our future. Like He's already there. And that's hard for us to wrap our brains around, because we live in the present. We live in one moment in time, and He encompasses all of them, which is just wild. But He once explained it to me like this. It was like I saw this vision of Him standing in a library, and each book represented a person's story. And He would open the book to any page He wanted at any time He wanted, and He could occupy any part of the story that He wanted. But for us, we were on one page. And then we would flip the next page and we would be on that page. You see what I'm saying? Like, for us, time is consecutive, but for Him, it's pick and choose. He can be anywhere He wants at any time. So why do we not trust Him? Why do we not trust Him with our future? I'll tell you why. It's because we want to control things. Let me read you something real quick. This says, rest alone won't bring you undeniable peace. It will certainly help, but that's only part of the equation. The other part is about relinquishing control over your life. I've never considered myself to be a control freak, but I used to be a worrywart. And it turns out worry is just a form of wanting control. You want to be able to control the outcome of your circumstances. And so you rack your brain trying to think of ways to make your situation better. Does that sound peaceful to you? The presence of peace really stems from a lack of worry, a total and complete trust that your Father will work everything out for your good. That was an excerpt from my book, 7 Days to a Life of Limitless. I have a whole chapter on peace, and trust is a part of that because they kind of go hand in hand. But that's just one chapter. I also talk about how to hear God's voice, how to find your promises, your purpose, your identity, how to have intimacy with Him, what the journey's supposed to look like. This is 3 years worth of information that God asked me to write down so that you could have access to it all in one place. Of course, I do have all of this information available in my videos on my feed for free. But like I said, if you just want it all organized in one place, you might want to check it out. I have signed copies available here on TikTok Shop and on my website. Or if you don't care about signed copies and just want free shipping, you can find it on Amazon too. And if I sell out, don't worry, I restock every day, so just be sure to check back tomorrow.